What's going on, everyone? Sebastian here. Today I'm going to show you how to boost conversions for your Amazon listings. So this is vitally important because a lot of times you're not going to know what your optimal listing is going to look like until you begin to split test different variables. So a common mistake between new sellers is not testing enough at the very beginning, okay? And I think a lot of it comes from, we already have a good idea of what we want to sell our product for. However, we need to let the data that the Amazon Marketplace provides us in order to make the necessary adjustments to be fully optimized and to gain continual sales velocity as time goes on, okay? So a lot of the things, one of the main things that are gonna contribute to, continual momentum on Amazon is being at the optimal range with images, price, and category. So you need to split test these variables to continually sustain and improve your sales rank over time, okay? So today I'm gonna show you 3 ways that you can split test these 3 categories, these 3 aspects of your listing in order to find that optimal balance between sales velocity and keyword ranking, okay? So here, the first one is going to be the main image. You wanna have at least 2 main images or hero images. So whenever you're talking to your photographer, make sure that you get at least 2 images in your total package, okay? So if you have a really good packaging design, ideally, you should try to have your packaging, if it's a neat design, it's not some poly bag, have a packaging in the background of your image. It adds more perceived value, and therefore it may lead to increased conversions, okay? So the first thing you're gonna wanna split test is have 2 main images. And you'll let these run for 30 days each. 30 days each. Okay, so 2 main images. When you launch, first 30 days have 1 main image, second month have your other main image, and you'll see a clear distinction on conversion rate, and you'll go with the winner obviously at that point. And also when you split test your main image, you can also, when your conversions are increasing on Amazon and you have a main image, your PPC click-through rate is going to go up as well, meaning your cost per click is going to go down. So not only is it important to split test the main image for organic sales, but it will literally also improve your PPC campaigns, okay? And so once you split test the main image, again, you want to find that optimal conversion rate, all right? Then you can go ahead and split test the price. Now the price is super easy. There's going to be 2 different ways you can do this. So if you already have an idea of what your premium price is going to be, when you're split testing, try 25% below your premium price, okay? And you'll let this run for 2 weeks, all right? 25% below your premium price. And what this can lead to is an increase in sales velocity. And if you're seeing, okay, it's increased my sales by, a factor of 10%, 20%, you'll want to take a note of that, of what your current sales velocity is before lowering the price 25%, and then make a note of how many more sales you've made to see if the increased sales velocity supports the decrease in price, because maybe you're selling more units, so therefore you're making more profit out of sheer volume. Hope that makes sense. So on paper, it might look like you're losing or you're making less money in net profit, but if you're making up for it in sheer volume, you can see if it makes sense for your business to keep at this price range to continually bring in that sales velocity, all right? And then you'll also want to split test 25% above your premium price, okay? And what this is really good at doing is, it can go 2 ways. One, it can add more perceived value, okay, than your competitors, so it can also literally increase your conversion rate, or it can also decrease your sales velocity potentially, but you're making more money per unit. Okay, so this is another thing you're gonna wanna pay attention to. So the optimal balance between sales velocity and profit. You're gonna have to find the balance between these two. And so say your sales velocity slows down just a little bit, I know maybe 10%. Again, you're gonna have to see what your current sales velocity is and see what the increase and decrease is once you make these two adjustments. And again, these two total are only gonna be for 1 month. So you only split test the prices for 2 weeks each, below and above, and you will be able to see what percentage of sales you're going to be losing or making. Now, if it's not that big of a drop, if you increase your price by 25%, then you can continue working at this price range because you're making more net margins, right? And so you'll have to see, okay, is it more worth it for you to make more money but less sales, or more money through sales volume? Okay, so you're gonna wanna find the optimal balance between those two. And another cool thing about raising the price 25% above, now that sounds like a lot. If that brings your price overboard, try a 15% increase, okay? If you just see that your sales velocity hits a brick wall by increasing at 25%, try 15% in a price increase and measure the results that way. But the beautiful thing about raising your price and split testing the optimal sales velocity and profit is you can actually put more money into PPC campaigns, which will allow you to be more aggressive, show up for more search terms. And so again, you have to factor in a few of these things when you're considering split testing, okay? Because you'll be able to put more resources into PPC if you're making more money, okay? So that's one thing to consider, and these are two very potent combinations once you find the balance between these two, okay? And then the last thing is gonna be category. So category is super simple, and actually not all products are gonna fall into a split testing category. Sometimes it's just, that one category is the only category for a particular product. But literally, some categories are extremely, extremely competitive. And while others are also 100% related to your product, they might not be as competitive. It might have less search volume, but it can also be less competitive. So you can dominate a category that is still 100% relevant to your product, but has less sellers in that category. So it'll allow you to be more competitive for search terms. I hope that's making sense. So if you can split test your category, you just go to, just do a category search in Seller Central. It's worth split testing to see if you'll make more sales in a less competitive category. So you can essentially dominate a category. And if you're dominating a less competitive category, you'll move up much higher on the search terms, even for extremely competitive keywords, okay? So that's one of the things you're gonna wanna split test as well, category. And ideally, you'll wanna do this at the very beginning of a listing. But if you have a current listing, it's already launched, you have some PPC, and you just know you have sales, there's more sales you could be making relative to your competition, then take a look at the categories. You can look at the categories that your top 4 or 5 competitors are in and see, okay, which ones are the most popular and which ones have less sellers in them, but they're still doing well. And if you can find a category that has less sellers but you can tell that your competition is still doing really well, it could be beneficial for you to move into that category as well. So the only way for you to know that is if you're changing, if you split test the category, okay? And this is super easy to do. And when you combine these 3 strategies, you're gonna find an optimal flow for your listing in whatever space you're in on Amazon right now, okay? But you have to let the data guide your business making decisions. So these are 3 extremely simple ways that you can boost your conversions and find the optimal balance between sales velocity and profit. Okay, there's a sweet spot there, but you have to test these variables for yourself. And you can do this today if you wanted to. So I hope that when you're taking a look at this training, you use this information to optimize your listings today if you can, right? There's no better time like the present to make changes. So yeah, I just wanted to make a super quick video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. There's a link below where I'll have a group link. Join my private group. I have a ton of awesome training. We're a close-knit tribe, and I'd love for you guys to join, all right? And yeah, like always, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.